right, welcome back to another episode of Fastbreak Layup NBA podcast. Samuel here. We got Kev. Kev, say what's up.
Good morning, good afternoon, good
And we
evening.
got Rico. Rico's off screen.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
All right, so it's officially been 1 month without NBA basketball. But you know, it is what it is. NBA has a 25-day plan to get back to basketball with an 11-day individual workouts utilizing social distancing, and then a 14-day training camp whenever they get the go-ahead. Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett have been named to the 2020 Basketball Hall of Fame class.
I'm going to sleep happily with that, for sure.
And then we got the NBA is donating 1 million masks to New York City to help out with that was actually a couple weeks ago. So they probably been done.
I think it was
already.
like last week.
Yeah. Las Vegas is under serious consideration for the playoffs if and when they get back underway. So it'll be probably similar to Summer League style, probably. And then, yeah. NBA started their horse competition. What was it? Was it yesterday or Friday? I think it was Friday, right?
Probably Friday. Actually, Friday, I believe. I think I seen a photo 2 days ago with Zach Levine being Pope or something like that. So probably 2 days ago.
Well, if you missed it, you didn't miss anything. So
Really fair, because I wasn't planning on watching it in the first place.
it's got horrible video quality. We got and then Paul Pierce keeps making himself look like a fool.
You know
Like,
what? Now I'm gonna just watch the Pope Pierce highlights just to see what I
Like,
want to see.
He went up against Zach. So that tells you
It was unfair, though.
That is unfair. You put him up against one of the most athletic guards in the league. And
I'm gonna guess Zach did a dunk.
Nah, I don't even think he did a dunk. I don't even think Zach did a dunk. The one shot I saw was Zach did a reverse layup, but he like slapped the backboard with his other hand. And like Paul Pierce, as soon as he launched, he just was like, all right, I'm done. Like, I give up. Like, that was it.
They need to keep that man in this household in a wheelchair to sit down there and enjoy the rest of the day. Because he be doing too much, bro.
I saw a tweet the other day. Someone was like, Paul Pierce was born to be a retired basketball player. Like, just the way he moved, like.
Yeah, they got that one. They got him. I can see that.
it's a fact from since he tried to do the dunk contest for the McDonald's All-American. It's tripping.
We got the 2K tournament was recently finished. We got Devin Booker winning that one. So he beat his teammate DeAndre Ayton in the finals. So he's finally got some W's under his belt.
I didn't know it was going against each other.
Yeah.
I thought each team had what a representative, though.
Nah, they changed up.
It wasn't like that.
It wasn't even. I don't even think those are the original rules that I heard. But I found out later on that it was just random players. I don't know who organized it, honestly, but whoever it was, good for them, I guess.
I mean, about time they probably put some more entertainment on TV, but they gotta keep finding more ways.
It was bad. It wasn't entertaining because it's like two guys sitting in their cribs playing 2K, and then the only matches that were like interesting were the ones with Patrick Beverly, because like he was like screaming on the mic and he was like yelling at his opponents. Like that's what made it entertaining. But other than
that Black Ops energy really strong in Patrick Beverly, bro.
That's a fact.
I know he was trash talking every game. I know that man body.
He was OD, but he was cooking. So I mean, if you could back it up, then why not?
Who's in the finals? You said Ayton and Booker?
Yeah. But Ayton had to go through Patrick Beverly to get to the finals, so that just tells you.
He's going through it. I ain't like how KD lost the first round, but it's all right. His first seed. I hurt my heart.
KD can't really do it by himself, but we're not going to discuss this.
Yo. Kevin, you got anything to say for that?
Y'all hear something?
Yo.
Y'all hear something? I don't know.
We got the Bulls. They hired a new president of basketball operations. They're completely overturning their front office for the first time in 22 years. I know the whole thing over there was like they wanted to fire Gar Foreman and John Paxson. John Paxson's actually still gonna. They're both actually still gonna be in the organization, but just with different roles. So they got a new president of basketball operations, and then they're looking for a new GM. So
Makes sense. About time. A lot of other organizations need to do that. There's also let's count the Knicks into that. They need
the
to do
Knicks
that
already
too.
got a new president. They just got to get a new GM. It's
Yeah,
just
they
the
need it.
Knicks has just got to be James Dolan's got to get out of there. But like from what I've heard from other players is that James Dolan really isn't the issue. Is because James Dolan just like he'll pay anybody that's over there. Like he has no problem with that. So he tries to leave the basketball stuff to whoever he hires. If whoever he hires, that's who's to blame for whatever happens to the Knicks. But it's another conversation for another day. I don't feel like talking about the Knicks. Speaking of the Knicks, actually, though, check out the fastbreaklayup.com. I wrote an article about the 2012-13 Knicks, one of the best Knicks teams ever. So we got that to talk about. We got that to review over there. As you know, there's a rift between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert following their coronavirus diagnosis. So there's that. They said it's unsalvageable at this moment right now. So
Which is pretty wild because I feel like even though like Rudy did kind of like get the ball rolling. I mean, we still don't know if it was really him who caused it, but
yeah, and I feel like it's just I don't know if it's like totally blown out of proportion because Donovan had to like self isolate, probably couldn't like be with his fam for a little bit. So who knows? But hey, I mean, I heard Donovan Mitchell's from New York, so New York tried to get that boy over there. That's all I can say.
Well, it's about I mean, like they have to move one of them. If y'all move one though, who y'all moving?
Who I'm moving? I'm keeping Donovan if I'm Utah, but if I'm a Knicks fan, I want Donovan to get traded to pull up over here because Donovan's from New York and he's friends with Frank, so got some friendship right there. Just get the ball rolling. But
You
I know
sound like a Knicks
Utah.
fan.
I gotta be.
not
No,
gonna
I'm
lie
talking about that's how Knicks fans be sounding. Yeah, KD's KD
Chill.
grew up with Alfred Payton
Before the
and
Achilles, I'm
his
jacking he was
coach.
coming here. Before the
Yeah, that's
Achilles blew out, I'm jacking he was coming here.
yeah, I know that. And then you know how they get. Kyrie, him and Frank Ntilikina played AAU 6 seasons ago, and they're
First of all, that's not
friends.
even possible. First, that's not even possible because Frank was in France and Kyrie was probably in like Australia or whatever. So
Also, DeAndre Jordan and Coach Woodson were best friends, and that's how
we
you
need Coach Woodson, man. That guy was the best.
Nah, he definitely had you in the playoffs, and y'all need to be in the
He had us
playoffs.
a 54 win season, bro. Like you'd never see New York like that again.
dude. I'm not gonna lie though. If I'm Utah, I feel like if they trade Gobert, it's about to look real scary for them next season though. Because I feel like Utah is really known for like their defense, and I feel
Yeah,
like
Gobert's the anchor down there.
you lose Gobert, is like I don't think Donovan could do it for them right. I mean, at least right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll see how that go though.
All right, so Bobby Marks, the GM, not the GM guy, but the front office guy in ESPN, he says this is most likely the best case scenario for the rest of the NBA season. Early July, start of the NBA playoffs, mid-August NBA finals, end of August draft, September 1st, start of free agency, September 10th, summer league, fall league. December 10th, training camp opens, and December 25th, regular season opens with 82 games. Mid-June, the regular season ends, and from now on, that would be the regular schedule. So
I will have to see that. I have to read that for myself to understand. Because in words, yeah, I gotta see how they're gonna do this though.
basically, the season will start
So
December
are they
25th
gonna have
from
like
now on.
a record combined of 82 games? Repeat it one more time. Let me hear it one more time.
So early July would be the start of the playoffs. Like if they come back like late May, early June, early July would be the start of the NBA playoffs. Mid-August would be the NBA finals. End of August would be the draft. September 1st would be the start of free agency. September 10th would be the new fall league instead of summer league. December 10th would be when training camp opens, and December 25th would be when the regular season opens from now on with a full 82 game slate. And then mid-June the regular season would end. And that would be it for good. I mean, it'll probably be something to get used to, but we're in different times now, so we gotta take what we can get with sports at this point. So
to see how this goes. I'm interested for the playoffs, really.
facts.
That's what I really want to see. We'd have been in the playoffs right now.
Playoffs would have been starting this week, actually, probably, I think, yeah.
See, look at that. So that's disappointing to even hear at all.
Yeah.
Last
headline before we get into this game we got here, this Kobe Bryant game. Crazy how we have a Kobe Bryant game on Mamba Day. 4 years ago, he dropped 60 in his last game. So, yeah. But last bit of news I saw on Bleacher Report was Kevin Garnett wants to bring back the Supersonics. So,
I mean, that's not a bad point.
I'm interested in seeing that, but wouldn't they have to add like two more teams, another team with that to make it more fair?
Make it even, yeah.
Bring back Vancouver. Yeah. Bring back Vancouver.
Facts. Bring back Vancouver.
Even New Jersey. Even
Oh no, we're not bringing back Jersey. Sorry, Jersey. Like as much as like Jason Kidd, he had his little run, but nah, Jersey. I want to cancel Jersey, but
all of that.
Yeah, bro, Jersey is not it. But
yeah, I want to cancel Jersey.
It's facts, because they be right across the Holland Tunnel and be trying to come over here with their nonsense, but it's all good.
Where they be trying to jack they from here, like move up with that.
So, Exhibit A is Kyrie.
I don't like how they see that. Yo,
that's facts.
New Jersey for trying to steal our lingo,
Facts. Kyrie stayed jacking. Here is home, bro. Home is New Jersey. Get over there.
Yeah, what is it? Urban? I forgot where he's from in New Jersey. But all of a sudden, this is home all day, bro. Okay,
bro.
Nobody, Kyrie.
I will never forget, bro. His promo video. I think he was like walking across the Brooklyn Bridge, dribbling or something like that. Bro, I'll never forget that, bro. Cause that was like, come on, bro. You ain't had to do all of that.
Like, bro, you don't have to act like you're from here, bro. Like everybody else from New York does when they come over here. Act like they're from here, but it's fine. I mean, he fit in with the culture, I guess.
Facts.
I feel like KD too fits in with the Brooklyn culture, low key, in a way.
They do.
So we don't see. I just want to see them play together. That's what I'm really interested in seeing.
That's gonna be a scary offense.
Nah, the ISO game is gonna be okay. So which one of you gonna score? I want to see how that's gonna go. Talk about the playoffs though. So that means people are coming back fully healthy.
Yeah, most likely.
Meaning Trailblazers getting Nurkic back.
Well, Trailblazers were gonna get Nurkic back regardless. He was supposed to play March 15th. That was supposed to be his first game.
Wow.
Yeah. See?
Well, now they're gonna have him back. They're gonna have him ready.
Yeah, they're gonna have him like at full strength by the time it really starts tipping.
Who also dealing with injuries? Zion should get some good. They probably not gonna manage him no more when he come back.
Well, it depends if he's getting his working at home, or else he's gonna end up getting fat again.
Nah, I feel like someone like Zion gonna be working out though, especially.
Or he might just get lazy and start eating a bag of Lay's.
He averages 24 points. That's talent. He got to do something. He working hard. Trust and believe he working hard.
Facts. I mean, the Clippers better come back healthy. PG.
Yeah, PG better. There's no excuse for PG. No excuse.
PG, you got a whole month though to rest that shoulder. Kawhi, forget about it. Like, they better come back ready to play for sure.
All right, so let's get into this game. We got Phoenix versus Lakers, 2006 playoffs. Suns were the 2 seed, and the Lakers were the 7 seed. We got Steve Nash here versus Kobe Bryant. And the Lakers actually up in this – before this game, the Lakers are up 2-1 in the series. We got the Suns, who had an actual not a rough season. They actually had a good season, but they had a lot of injuries. Amari Stoudemire was out with microfracture surgery. So who was leading this team was Steve Nash and Sean Marion. Sean Marion was an all-star this season. I feel like Sean Marion's like super underrated in like when you go back in NBA history, because like
yeah, definitely. I think his jump shot, I don't know, it made him famous, but kind of discredited him. I don't know. Not really
yeah.
discredited him, but like I think it blinded people from his real talent.
Well, go ahead, Rico.
No, because he was also on that team with the Mavericks that won that year.
Yeah.
Definitely, he had a big part in that one too.
Yeah, he helped guard LeBron, and then he was
floater too.
He was crucial on offense as well. Yeah,
definitely. And
but
I remember they were saying how he gave LeBron problems.
Mm-hmm.
When he was guarding him.
But yeah, this season Marion actually led the team in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. So,
how much points did he average?
21.8, 11.8 rebounds, 2 steals a game, and 1.7 blocks per game.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so he was wilding. They ain't have Kurt Thomas this year either, so they basically had no big man this year. So Boris Diaw, who was listed at 6'8", had to play center for most of the season. So they were kind of already on that small ball way before it was.
Who's the coach again?
Mike D'Antoni.
Look at that.
It's always him. It's always him, son.
This man don't like centers, bro. He don't like centers.
He don't. But this season he had no choice because his centers got hurt, and they was out the whole year.
That's probably what he let you do. What he doing right now. I mean,
yeah, he saw how it was working back then, and he was like, "I bet." He got to the Western Conference Finals, but I don't want to spoil this game. I mean, it's not even spoiling. People should know what happened in this game already in this series. But yeah,
they should have went to the finals. I'm not gonna lie, the Rockets should have went to the finals, especially the game they missed 27 threes. They had that game in the bag.
I'm weak.
And they just sold it.
But yeah, Steve Nash got MVP, his second straight MVP, averaging 18.8 and 10.5 assists per game. So we got that. And then we got Boris Diaw won Most Improved Player this year. And then so Lakers starting lineup was for this game was Kobe, Smush Parker, Luke Walton, Lamar Odom, and Kwame Brown. And the Suns starting lineup for this game was Nash, James Jones, Raja Bell, Boris Diaw, and Sean Marion.
Okay.
The key of this series was before I get into that, Phoenix was the best offensive team in the league for the regular season, but struggled in this series early on. Tim Thomas was a big part of their offense. He averaged 17 points a game in this series at that point. But James Jones came in for him because he got hurt. But Tim Thomas still played, but he didn't play as much minutes as he was supposed to. In this series, Thomas shot 7 threes a game on 55% up to this game. So
not too bad.
He was jacking. So we got Kwame was stinking it up early, but he redeemed himself later in the game. Like he was missing point blank shots and getting mad turnovers early on. Like,
yeah, he's pretty bad. And before we even get into the video, I just want to say, at the NBA, are you still handing out contracts like this? Because I'll gladly take that.
No, that's a fact.
I'm not gonna lie, they could use a little Rico post hook in there.
I'm saying, bro. I'm telling you, wait till we get into the film, bro. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so like we want to get straight into the Kwame early on.
Kwame come up from the charge.
All right, because
that man, son, you don't really realize how bad he was until you see the clips.
I say hear how they said heckle him. Son.
All right, so like here we go. Kwame right here. All right, don't do this.
Kwame Brown posting up on Diaw. James Jones the rebound. Yeah, they played him straight,
and he had like lots of opportunities like that. Like he had some turnovers early on where like he was getting the ball and then he would like take one dribble
and lose it
off rip. Like what? How? I mean, from the Stephen A. Smith clip, we do have that he had small hands, so he couldn't really catch the ball like that. So I don't know what he was doing dribbling then.
Bro,
like Julius Randle.
I just want to know how they got that man in the league, son.
Exactly. Who's his agent?
Yeah, who's his agent, bro? That man needs a bag to get him in the league, bro.
That's a fact. But then we got We got Nash. Nash started this game 4 for 4. He had no choice to because I mean they're down 2-1 on the road. You have a chance of going down 3-1, and the chances of coming back 3-1 at this point in history are very, very, very slim.
Mm-hmm.
I think here we got another. No, that's not another Kwame play. But what I noticed early on in this game is Boris Diaw is a great playmaking big. Like he was making a lot of
definitely
like a lot of plays from the post, and then we even saw it in like the Spurs run when he was with the Spurs in 2013 and 2014. They ran a lot of their offense through Diaw in the post because like he's great at he has good vision and he's great at finding people when they're cutting and stuff like that. So
respectable.
Then we got according to Mike Breen and Hibby Brown, who's broadcasting this game, they said the Lakers supporting cast has been playing well this series, which was surprising to them because they're used to Kobe dominating the ball and his supporting cast not really coming through. But this series, when I looked at the stats, like Kobe was not really dominating the ball like this in this series. Like he started picking up his play later on in the series, but Luke, what was it? Lamar Odom averaged 19 and 11 this series. Kwame Brown averaged 13 and basically 6 rebounds this series. Luke Walton averaged 12 this series, as well as Smush Parker averaged almost 9 points per game. Then you had Brian Cook and Sasha Vujicic both averaging about 6. So the Lakers supporting cast was coming through for Kobe early on in the series, but as we'll talk about later, they started to falter. So talked about Phoenix playing small ball a lot. A lot of times on the court, it was like DL at the 5, Marion at the 4, sometimes Marion at the 4, Tim Thomas at the 5, Marion at the 5 as well. So we got with like early in the second quarter, Kobe Bryant picked up his 3rd foul, and Odom had to carry the offense. And I think this is why you compared Ben Simmons to Odom, Rico.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Even watching this, I fake wanted to take it back because at least Odom was like
taking threes.
He was taking threes. Yeah.
Like, he wasn't scared to take them. Like, and he was making some of them too. So
yeah.
But yeah, Odom's great at playmaking in this overall. And then Luke Walton, I didn't know he was such a great playmaker in the post as well. I think that's why Phil Jackson really liked playing Luke Walton next to Kobe and all those other guys because he was great at finding them when they were cutting and stuff like that. And there's some plays later on in this game that I want to talk about where Luke Walton showcases his playmaking. So we got here. Kobe explains why he's been unselfish in this series. I want to just play this clip so everyone can hear.
You know, it's more fun playing this way because you see how excited everybody is. You know what I mean? Everybody's having so much fun, and they get into it. And it's beautiful when, you know, Staples Center's chanting Kwame Brown's name. You never even, you know, thought that would be possible at the start of the
It was Friday night. They were chanting.
Yeah, he's proud of him, son.
And they was chanting Kwame Brown like at game 3. They was chanting Kwame, and they did it again in this game too. I think later on. So, you know, Kobe says, you know, it's fun to see the other guys getting some shine, getting some love, and they're actually producing, and it's leading to wins because they up 2-1, and then they playing well in this game. As our YouTube viewers can see on the screen, we got Lamar Odom's actually the leading scorer at this point in the game with 9 points. Kobe has 8. Brian Cook has 7. He came off the bench, gave him a little spark. Luke Walton has 4, and Kwame Brown has 2. So, you know, Kobe was not being as selfish. He took less shots in this series as well. So
that's what I mean. He do whatever it takes to win. That's what you gotta respect about Kobe.
Facts. But like the narrative of this season, this was the season that he dropped, I think, 81 in a game. So the narrative this season was like Kobe's super selfish. He doesn't like to pass the ball, all that. So
this is prime Kobe.
And he was trying to change the narrative because this was after Shaq left, and he had this squad of basically no names.
I don't. Yeah, he made Lamar Odom look good for sure too.
I mean, Lamar Odom already made himself look good with his Clippers days
For
and his
sure.
Miami Heat days. So it
I
was
didn't
just
know about
meshing with
Clippers.
Kobe that needed to be done.
A lot of players couldn't do that.
Yeah, because after Shaq left, everybody, because remember, it was like the whole feud between like Shaq and Kobe, and like everybody basically, that's what basically started the narrative that people couldn't play with him. And then like, they were also that good of a team, and Kobe was like taking a good amount of shots as well, too. So, yeah, definitely changed a lot this game.
Facts. And what you call it? So it was tied at halftime at 41 apiece. Outside of Nash and Diallo, the Suns were shooting 22%. The Lakers survived with Kobe in foul trouble for most of the first half because he had like 3 at the beginning of the second. So we had that. The Suns started the second half on a 6-0 run to open up a 6-point lead. Nash found Diallo a couple times with tough passes in traffic in the pick and roll. And I'm about to let y'all hear some more Kwame Brown chants because, that's what the people are here for.
Both hands, you can take a good hit. All right, and that was not even a good hit. Got to get the easy ones. In a game like this, you got to get either out on the break, and we're having no missed breaks today. There's only been one basket scored.
This the easy dunk. Could have been an and one.
Now, the key then is second shot attempts. Second shot attempts somewhat limited today because of good defensive rebounding. Well, then the key is in the half-court movement. Every time you get a dunk, you've got to go strong because it's a potential three-point play.
And once again, for the second straight game, Kwame Chance at the Staples Center.
Kwame Chance in the Staples Center. Thought you'd never see it, huh?
Yeah, that open dunk got me weak though, son. Because that's the Kwame Brown thing to do, right?
You heard Hubie. Hubie was like, you can't miss those ones. Those are the easy ones, Even when they foul you, it's 2 hands. You still got to make that one. He literally.
How tall was he?
Kwame?
Yeah, how tall was he? Like
6'11".
Like 6'11". Yeah, he's too tall for that. 2 hands too. You too tall for that.
Facts.
Nah, that's disappointing, especially in a playoff game, bro. That's when you don't miss dunks, bro. When you keep it simple. And that wasn't that was a regular rim grazing dunk he could have did, bro.
Exactly. It wasn't a back scratch or none of that.
It was nothing special for you to miss, young man. But,
So we got Kwame was actually having a solid game. I don't know if we saw it on the screen there, but he had he was not averaging, but he had yeah. So he's having a good game. He's getting the Kwame chance. He's getting the love. They're still down 2 at this point. Later on, Kobe misses about 2 free throws in the third quarter. I wrote this down in my notes because I was like, say he didn't miss those free throws, they probably would have had a lead at the point, and certain events later on didn't happen, and that just changes the whole overall outcome of this game. So I wrote that down because I thought that was significant. Sean Marion was actually struggling in this series to score, but he started to pick up his groove in the third quarter, scoring 10 points. And
who's guarding him, Kobe?
Sean Marion, I don't even remember. I think it was a combination of Odom and Walton. It was a combination of Odom and Walton, I think, because those are the 2 forwards that were playing in the front court. And I think whenever Brian Cook and whatever those other guys came in, they played up on him too.
Okay.
But yeah, he ended up getting his first double-double of the series in this game, which was surprising because he averaged a double-double for the regular season at 21 and basically 22 and 12, basically.
Calm though.
Yeah.
For his position too. That's definitely calm.
Because he's undersized, and he basically had to play the 4 and the 5 man for the most of the season because of their injury concerns. So
I know he's a beast on fantasy, son.
I can imagine playing fantasy back then with someone like him, especially on a team that depleted at the time.
Definitely.
Give him all the minutes.
Man, average 22 and 12. That's great numbers though for his side.
And two steals, about 2 blocks.
Nah, that's That's something else. I
It's
ain't
like
know he was
40 a
that
night.
nice.
Bro, like exactly.
Oh yeah, fantasy wise, oh my
Yeah, it's
goodness.
like 40 a night.
If he efficient, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was pretty efficient because like he did corner threes, he did lobs, layups. Like he was pretty efficient. So
And Nash was feeding him the ball too.
yeah, so you know he was getting good looks. So you know fantasy. If you have him and Nash on your fantasy, it's just
Oh yeah,
you eating.
Oh yeah, I know Nash. He was efficient. That's one thing about Nash. That was standing out to me how efficient
I
he
think it was
was.
50, 40, 90. I think 1 year
Yeah,
or 2
he
years.
definitely. I think 2 years he made it.
So you already
It's
know those
crazy.
two guys on fantasy were going
Oh
crazy.
yeah, for sure.
All right. Suns start to open up a 7-point lead once we get into the fourth quarter. And it's due to them forcing turnovers on the Lakers. That was spoiler alert, that was the Lakers' downfall in a lot of the other games later on in the series. We got some Devin George threes that cut the lead to 1 at one point. Shout out Devin George. I think he came out of Division III basketball, so shout
I
out him.
respect everybody who could make the NBA from Division III though.
Duncan Robinson started Division III.
And Clemson, how about that Anthony Clemson? No, what's his name? He was on the Knicks. I forgot his name. He got shot or something.
I don't know. What year?
Damn, I can't remember. I know he came up a long way to make it to the NBA for sure. He had to transfer school like 4 or 5 times. He started from Division III, and he was in the NBA good. And someone shot him at a nightclub. He played for the Knicks, and did not end his career so far. He wasn't that bad though.
Well, you know, they say you go to the Knicks to end your career, so
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's very true. But they're about to turn Porzingis crip over here, son. It's a good thing they moved him out of here.
What?
He was on the. You didn't see the pictures? He had the Nike
bro,
tech on.
They had my son a Nike tech and a
yeah.
Dawn, bro. They're about to turn him crip. y'all laughing. He about to be yo. I couldn't imagine him throwing up crip in the game. That's what he's gonna do. But I mean, they got him out of here for that. But it was about time for him to get out of here. Especially all the injuries that's going on. And he was an MVP candidate. That's the sad part.
He was? Who?
At
when
Porzingis first was playing, and before he got like that big injury, that man was averaging like 29 points.
Yeah, he was.
Like, I forgot how much boards and like 2 blocks. He was wilding, bro. The Knicks were winning games.
Yeah.
And then that happened. Everything's sick now.
It'd be like that.
For real.
All right, so we got Kobe picking up his 5th foul with about 6.5 minutes left in the game. So Kobe has to play the rest of the fourth quarter, potentially overtime, with 5 fouls. That's really disciplined, and we all know Kobe's about discipline. So like, you gotta keep yourself really disciplined to not foul or not be too aggressive to get that 6th foul, playing the rest of those minutes like that.
See me, I'm getting that foul, so I gotta respect anybody who could stay in the game of fouls at all. Cause you gotta guard your defender, and that's in the playoffs. You gotta play defense every play. So,
Word, and you know Kobe's an all defense guard too.
He's about his defense, so I know he's doing his thing. RP to that man.
Facts. So up till this game, Kobe did not reach the 30-point mark, and I don't think he did in this game either. Because when I looked at the box score, actually, where is it? He finished this game with 24. He wasn't even the leading scorer in this game.
Who was the leading scorer?
Lamar Odom with 25.
Wow.
Yeah, he was carrying a good majority of the load when Kobe was down on the bench.
Yeah, because like a lot of the offense ran through him. He was the one handling the ball, running pick and rolls. He had 8 rebounds, 5 assists in this game as well. Lamar Odom, so he was doing his thing.
That's great, actually. Some great numbers here.
But yeah, back to the fourth quarter. Back to the fourth quarter. We got so their Suns are up 8 with a Sean Marion short baseline jumper. And the Lakers take a timeout. After this timeout, Kobe gets some free throws. Lamar Odom gets an and one. And at this point, it's down to 3. And then the Suns can't buy a basket now. So then Sean Marion fouls out with 20 points at about 2 minutes and 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And it was funny because when he first fouled out, he didn't know, and he thought he was still valid to be in the game. He was just standing by the free throws, waiting for the guy to shoot his foul shots. And hear the music, you know that they play the music, hit the road jack whenever you foul out. So they played that, and he didn't know, and then he just was looking around. He was lost. So they took some time with that to review the play and I guess make sure Sean Marion knew he was fouled out. So Suns are now even more short on bigs because there's no Amari due to injury, no Kurt Thomas. Now there's no Sean Marion because he fouls out. So the lineup that the Suns are out there on the court with is Nash, Raja Bell, James Jones, Boris Diaw, and Kurt Thomas. Not Thomas, Tim Thomas. Odom hits free throws to cut it to 1. Then Raja Bell hits a 3 to put the Suns back up 4. And then Odom gets doubled, actually. Passes off to Walton, who finds Smush to cut it to 2. Let me see if I could actually find that play real quick. Went over that. Went over here. Like Sean Marion goes up 8. Free throws. What else we got? Wish I wrote down these timestamps. All right, so we got the Raja Bell 3. And then we got Luke Walton here, displaying some of that playmaking I spoke about earlier because I didn't know, like, that's what Luke Walton's specialty was on this team. I just thought he was just, like, one of the guys out there. But here we have.
But they had to go for the trap, and that opens you up.
Odom wants the ball. Here's the double team. Inside to Parker. Parker puts it in.
Great basketball. Great basketball. Unselfish play.
And one thing I didn't know about Smush Parker was that he was undrafted by I think it was it was by the Lakers this season. He started all 82 games. So I did not know that.
Lakers not bad at signing undrafted people. Something they've been good at for years now, I guess. Like Caruso.
Shout out Andre Ingram.
Oh, yeah, him too.
Caruso
oh,
too.
Yeah. I said Ingram was a bucket. Now Caruso too, facts. Like they know what they're doing with the undrafted.
All right, so then we got Diaw gets a layup after this play to put it up 4. Then Odom gets called for an offensive foul. Then we got Nash misses a short fadeaway that could have put the Suns up 6 with about 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the game. I wrote that down in my notes because we all know what happens later on. How if they go up 6, then it changes the whole course of the game at that point. Then we got hold up. I just want this to. All right, then we get a Devin George 3 here.
Force Nash to make the shot.
Odom on the drive.
Good pass.
Devin George for 3. Devin George from downtown.
Now that is terrific team basketball. That's taking the trap and making the pass without forcing a bad shot.
George had 7 points in the first 3 games combined. He's got 11 here in this one. Tim Thomas knocks it down.
Baby.
Thomas comes right back. And the lead back up to 4.
How about that? Mike, come on. He caught that pass. He was bent over. And he had the ability and the strength to just go right.
There goes that Mamba look.
Out his bag.
Facts. But I just want to show that sequence because, like, that was just, like, like you just see the change in momentum. Like the Lakers, they feel like they finally getting back into this late in the game. We see here 40 seconds left, and Phoenix is up 4. I mean, there's still a chance to win. You know, you play the foul game correctly, you foul the right people,
For
hope for some
sure.
misses. You know, so Kobe then misses a deep 3. Lakers foul to stop the clock. Then they have to foul again with about 12.6 seconds left. And Hubie was like upset because the Lakers, they took too long to foul because time had gone off the clock, and like if you don't have a certain amount of time left without timeouts and stuff like that, you can't get the ball up court in a certain amount of time, and then game's over. So Diaw misses the first free throw. So then you're like, there's still a chance. Then he makes the second. It's a 5-point game with 12.6 seconds remaining. I just want to show what happens after that. So
The Lakers have only turned it over 12 times. They had already turned it over 14 at the now open 3.
Smush Parker puts up the 3. It's good. Parker puts it in.
You got to get
2-point
to
game.
That's it. The smart move. You do.
Smush Parker with the clutch 3. Who would
Nah,
have
that's a
thought?
contested shot too.
Wait, doesn't he get the steal?
Yeah, I'm about to play it right now, actually. So, let's go to where is it? It's almost here. You serious, YouTube? All right. Any fans out there? If you listen to this ad and you want something,
Yeah, it's about time. Put down the bogeys. All you people out there.
1990, the hottest summer in years.
They got to be matched up here now. You know, the clock. You cannot allow precious seconds to go off the clock by not being close to a man.
They'd love to get it into Nash's hands, and they do. Ball knocked away, stolen by Parker.
There it is.
Here comes George to Kobe Bryant. Bryant inside. It's good. It's good. Tie game.
so we got that play. Smush, that boy Smush was coming in clutch. And after this, we see actually here, Kobe embracing him. And we all heard about the exchanges between Smush and Kobe in the past, like how like Kobe did not want to talk to Smush or anything off the court. So we all know how they like Smush and Kobe's relationship was. So seeing this here, you know, Kobe like really respects you if he's gonna embrace you after you come up big in these moments in the playoffs. Like first you hit the clutch 3 to cut it, and then you get the steal for him to get the basket to tie the game to send it into overtime. So
Yeah, he definitely did his thing.
facts.
So even Kobe had help. So everyone gets help.
Facts.
I mean, when you look at the stats, though, you would never tell, though. You look at the stats, you don't know that.
That's why it's not good to always look at the box score. That's why I be telling these people on social media, the stats will not tell you everything about, like, what happened.
I'm pretty sure there's some people with some horrible stats who definitely did a lot of stuff on the court.
Fact,
but
it's the intangibles and stuff like that.
It don't correlate well, but it definitely makes sense.
Facts. It's all about the intangibles and stuff like that, too. Like, you probably see on the box score, maybe that's probably Smush's only steal of the game. But it's when the steal happened is what
that too,
affects
for sure.
What, like, the story is.
You can end the game with 10 points. Before you know, you had the last 10 points of the game.
Exactly.
The most important 10 points of the game. So that's one thing about the stats. The stats do speak at the same time, but sometimes stats
they don't tell the
lie.
whole story. They don't tell the whole story. Yeah. They tell a part of the story.
Stats never show us a Westbrook getting those rebounds like he used to back in the day. Now he earns them, but back then, you know.
That's a fact.
I'm not gonna say too much. I ain't gonna hate on my boy.
But yeah, we got about 20 seconds here. We already know that they don't get a good shot, the Suns. So the game goes to overtime. Tim Thomas hits a 3 to go up 3. Then Kobe hits some free throws. So Suns are up 93-92. Diaw blows by Smush Parker, goes up 3, 95-92. Smush was getting blown by a lot. Like Smush, as much as he came in clutch here, he was also getting blown by a lot by Steve Nash, especially early in the beginning. and just by anybody that he was guarding. So
now imagine being undrafted and your first assignment is Steve Nash.
in the playoffs, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
bro,
pretty
that's sickening,
wild.
bro. That's pretty sickening,
that's
bro.
tough.
That's a Hall of Famer right there.
Facts. So we got an Odom and one. I believe this came off one another Luke Walton's feeds. So the game is tied, tied with 1 minute or so to go in overtime. Hold up, let me just get to that point real quick. Odom gets the and one. Then we come back down the court.
Deflected out of bounds or a foul? Still Suns ball. Yeah. Deflected. Nash wanted a foul.
As soon as Nash saw that Odom was playing him, he was taking him one-on-one.
And Mike D'Antoni will use one of his 2 timeouts with 10 seconds. 1:01 remaining in overtime. Vujicic right up on Nash. Nash looking. Shot clock winding down and a foul on Vujicic.
Right up on Nash.
Off the foul, the shot clock reset, to 14. Nash, a 3. Bang! Steve Nash from downtown. And the Suns back up by 3.
And he's been struggling in the fourth quarter in the overtime.
So, facts. Nash hits a 3, gets the certified Mike Breen bang, so you know it's official.
Dang. Facts. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that right now, really.
Facts, bro. So then we got Odom. He misses a layup following possession. Then Raja Bell misses a layup badly. I think it goes out on him too, out of bounds.
Yeah, he baited. He baited.
So then we got 15.7 seconds left. Kobe goes for the quick layup. It's 98-97. Then we all know what happens after that. Let's just get right to it.
Plenty of time, a 1-point game. Nash coming up. They have to foul. Nash looking, tied up, reach in. Walton, a jump ball!
Nash was baiting. Nash was baiting.
Nash was pissed too. Nash was pissed because I think he said either that he was getting fouled or that he called for a timeout. I don't know which one it is still. I think he was saying that he was getting fouled, but he was pissed. But they did a good job of trapping him because they got the jump ball, and then
that's a lot of that's the second late game turnover for Nash, someone who's a floor general.
Yeah, bro. He definitely was baiting in the clutch with the turnovers because he basically put them in a game twice.
But he also redeemed himself later on, as we'll talk about a little bit of what happened in the rest of the series after. But let's just go to the main play. I think everybody knows this play by now, but here we go.
Remember, 6.1 remaining.
The Lakers, no timeouts here now.
A 1-point game. Walton can tip it. Bryant with the save.
Now you're going to get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang!
At this point, Lakers take that commanding, historic 3-1 lead. But as we all know, they did not hold on to this lead. I watched actually Game 5, Game 6, and I watched Game 7 a while ago, but I remember what happened, and it was Game 6 was probably the most competitive out of the last 3 games between the two teams because Game 6 went to overtime. It was at Staples. Kobe put up 50.
Damn.
He was going crazy that game.
I know that's Kobe body.
But Lakers ended up blowing the 3-1 lead to the Suns. Suns moved on. They went to beat the Clippers, I think, in 6 in round 2. So they beat both LA teams, and then they met, I think, the Mavericks in the conference finals.
Who's for the Clippers back there?
It was Sam Cassell and Elton Brand.
They have Corey Maggette too, or am I tripping?
I think so. Hold up. Let me just do some quick
He probably was in the
check on that team. 2006 LA Clippers. Let me just take a look at this roster real quick because I remember it was Elton Brand, Sam Cassell, had Chris Kaman, Sean Livingston, Corey Maggette, Katino Mobley. So they had themselves a valid team that year. 47-35. So
not too bad. That's good.
Yeah, they lost in the second round, I think, in 6.
I didn't think they were relevant back then at all.
Yeah, they were. I was surprised when I was looking back at like that playoffs bracket. I was like, oh snap, Clippers. They were actually.
That was before they fell off.
Yeah, that was before they had that point. Yeah, where they started to fall off.
Yeah, they had a heavy fall off period too. They didn't get back till they got Chris Paul. Well, Blake Griffin really.
And then the Suns met their end at the Mavericks, Nash's former team.
I forgot he played. I forget he played for with Dirk.
Yeah, he
too.
played for them, and he played with Dirk. And you know what's crazy? I was listening to actually on Bill Simmons' podcast. He was talking about how like basically the Mavericks after that series with the Kings in 2004, I think it was, after Mike Bibby was just like frying Steve Nash, the Mavericks were just like, just let Steve Nash walk, and then that's the reason why they let him go. Because he was getting killed by Mike Bibby in the playoffs.
I mean, that's funny to hear. Like,
Mike Bibby was fake nice, though. He was fake
nice. He was nice in those Kings days.
He definitely was. He was hitting. He was definitely a bucket.
But like when I hear that he was like frying Steve Nash to the point where like there was like, just let Steve Nash walk. It's like, sheesh.
Yeah, that had to be tough to even,
because I feel like if
he got fraud.
I feel like if Steve Nash had stayed with Dirk just a couple more years and they got their chemistry right and the roster was like all together, they could have got a chip together. I feel bad for Steve Nash because Steve Nash had so many opportunities to get to the finals and just never did because of so many stupid stuff that happened.
It sucks because there's so much teams you could say that where they just made trades too early.
Made trades too early, made some certain signings, etc.
Or even just injuries just happen, bro. Stopping certain duos from being together, stuff like
Facts.
that. It's a damn shame.
It is. But yeah, they ended up losing. Lakers ended up losing this game. I mean, it's sad that this moment had to go to waste in a way because it would have been nice to see. Because that would have been an upset too if the Lakers won because they were the 7th seed. And if they moved on, that would have been a serious upset.
Not for real.
7-2.
They had a 3-1 lead. That's the most disappointing part to it.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? This 3-1 lead getting blown doesn't get talked about as much as other teams. 3-1's leads that have been getting blown lately.
They never let the Warriors go ever. Ever.
It's funny they don't let the Warriors go, but like no one talks about OKC blowing it right before them.
Oh, nah, so. They do.
I talk about it.
We go shut it up.
Yo.
I think about OKC these days and that series. The only I can really think about is the regular season game against Curry. When he hit that half-court shot.
Curry shot Roberson eyes off.
Yeah, that shot to this day will haunt me forever. I watched that game and nearly cried. That game was a tough one to watch.
But yeah, I think it's also the reason why they don't get talked about as much too is because they weren't around during the social media era. So like we always have the social media receipts of like what happened in 2016 with the 3-1 lead, but we don't have receipts of like what was going on behind them at that time. Sure. So I found this article from the Sundial talking from 2006 talking about this series because the storyline at this time was that in Game 7, Kobe basically gave up because he wasn't being aggressive with scoring. And a lot of people were like, Kobe, he just gave up. He gave up. He quit on the Lakers at that point. He was done with them, etc. And that wasn't the point because the point that Kobe was trying to make at that point in the series was like because everybody was like, "Oh, Kobe is so aggressive, is so it's what you call it. Kobe is
They would call him a Chuck, bro.
They was basically calling him a
That's it.
Chuck, and then he was basically, all right, bet I'm a Chuck. All right, I'm gonna pass the ball in Game 7, the most vital game of the series, since I'm a Chuck. So that's what he did, and his teammates weren't delivering like they were earlier on in the series, and you know, they got blown out Game 7 on the road in Phoenix, and that was that. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's Kobe's fault that they lost that series because he wasn't being aggressive in Game 7."
You can't win with the media narrative.
You can't at all because they'll say something every time. Because I bet you after you dropped 50 in Game 6 the night before, they was probably like, "Oh, look at Kobe.
He took too much shots.
He took too many shots and they lost. Look what happened. Like you should go back to the way it was before when you guys were winning and he wasn't dominating the ball." So
that's one thing though, and that's one thing I don't understand why players never understood. You would never please all of your fans, bro.
You can't
There's
please
never a point you would not please all your fans at any point, no matter how nice you are, no matter how you treat them,
no matter how many burner accounts you make. It's just not gonna work. Bro. Just gotta
you would never. So say no that.
Yeah, they lost by 31 in Game 7.
He did drop 50. My God.
Yeah. 31.
I was down for a bit, but it happened already. That's disgusting.
But yeah, let me just read this portion of this article from the Sundial by Justin Satzman. Shout out to you. But we got here. It was nice for the Lakers to show up for Game 7 after Bryant proclaimed the Lakers would be fine. If you did not watch Game 6, let me tell you how it ended. The Lakers were up by 3 with 30 seconds remaining, and Phoenix with the ball. Instead of fouling the Suns to force them to make one free throw and miss the second one on purpose, get the rebound, and make another shot, the Lakers gave the best three-point shooting team a chance to tie the game. Even worse for the Lakers, they had a foul to give, which meant they could have fouled the Suns, forced them to take the ball out again, which would have run more time off the clock and put more pressure on Phoenix. Steve Nash missed the open three-pointer, with Sean Marion, who had been outworked the whole series by Odom, got the rebound, and passed it to Thomas behind the three-point line. Thomas then faked out Kwame and made the wide-open three-pointer with 6 seconds remaining. I actually remember watching that play because they had the game on TV the other day. So I remember that.
And I also believe against the coaching, too. The coaching has a lot to do with that mistake.
Coaching, too, but then also execution on the court.
Yeah, for sure.
Bryant then had a chance to win the game, but came up short and sent the game to overtime. Phoenix dominating overtime and won the game and basically the series.
That's tough.
Yep.
Kobe was basically by himself that series. Not basically by himself. He had help, but look at that roster.
But by the time Game 7 came, no one else showed up.
Yeah, that's the worst part. And that's when you need everybody there.
All right, but yeah, I have another portion of this article I want to read real quick. Bryant could not have done any more in Game 6 to keep his team in the game, making incredible threes and other amazing shots, so it was unfair to blame him for that. He was invisible for the second half of Game 7, but even if he had scored 50 again, the Lakers still would have lost by more than 20. Phil Jackson came up with a brilliant game plan throughout the first 4 games of the series, but when it mattered most, he went brain dead. The coach who could inspire anyone could not inspire his team to win 2 huge playoff games. Maybe Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal did have a lot to do with it, considering Jackson has not won a big game without at least one of them. Oof, this guy was in his bag.
Damn. Yeah, he got something against that man.
Nah, but it's true when you look at the first 4 games of the series, that Lakers team looks completely different from Lakers in Game 5, 6, and 7. I don't know if it completely had to do with Jackson.
Also,
but
you gotta forget. You can't forget. It also got to do with what you call it, coaching, different game plan. Game plan. Certain things
adjusting?
You stop. People's tendencies adjusting. Yeah, bro.
But after they won after Game 4. So if that game plan worked in Game 4 where you won, why change it for Game 5? And then I understand if you change it after Game 5 because Game 5.
I'm talking even the other team. The other team adjusting on defense too, learning the tendencies, knowing who to guard, when to guard them. I'm pretty sure. How much good games does Smush Poker have?
I don't think that much, honestly. I don't.
So things like that.
But one thing I noticed in Game 5 was that what you call it. Kobe was being aggressive early on, but then after a while, like it came to the point where Phoenix was just raining down threes. Like they weren't shooting that; they were shooting the same amount
So
in
basically,
the first couple of games, but they just started to get hot because they
Phoenix
were
was
at
the
home.
Rockets.
Basically, any
They turned to the
D'Antoni
Rockets.
team looks the same basically over time.
See that right there? He took about they taking random threes.
They
Look
was
at the
taking
Warriors
mad
though.
threes, and then they were hitting them at this point, and they were at home, so And then Raja Bell, what you call it? He clotheslined Kobe, got ejected, and then got suspended for Game 6. So they're already shorthanded even more for Game 6, the Suns, and they still managed to win that one. So Kobe also got ejected in that game, beginning a technical for talking to the ref.
Oh, of course, he baited.
But they were down big at that point, so he was just laughing it off, and he went to the locker room. So yeah,
he ain't bait. He wanted to get out of that game. That man, sound like he want to be there, laughing it off.
I mean, when you're getting it blown out, I don't think anyone wants to be there. But yeah. And then to finish off the article, the guy says, as for the Lakers, yes, it is inexcusable to lose 3 games in a row when only needing 1 to win the series. But the better team won, which usually happens in a 7-game series. After being down 3-1 and costing his team a chance to win the series, Nash comes back and plays the best basketball of his life, which is why he is the MVP. And a lot of people say he didn't deserve that MVP that year, but when I look back at like all the injuries that his roster went through and stuff like that, and seeing the team that he had to carry, and they were basically playing like a foreign style of basketball at that point, I kind of agree with him getting the MVP. I mean, I never disagree with it, but I kind of agree with it more at this point. So,
yeah, I feel you. I definitely agree that he should have won the MVP that year, but in terms of like that exact statement of what the guy said, I feel like it wasn't too accurate of a statement because I mean, a lot of the times Nash did put his even though Nash was hitting like clutch shots to like bring his team back into it, he was also working against his team. So like he was literally just balancing out, and I mean they could have won this game, but they didn't because he did what he did.
Yeah, and who knows if this series gets tied 2-2 after this game? Like a whole bunch of different narratives change. We probably never get this Kobe Bryant game winner, etc. So a whole bunch of different stuff changes from this point. All right, so y'all have any finishing thoughts before we end this tonight? Or
rest in peace to Karl Anthony Towns' mother.
Facts.
Send my condolences out to that family.
Facts.
For a fact, RP. So, my condolences to anybody who's lost anybody these last few weeks. I've been seeing too much RP everywhere. It's really sad to see. And I need people to realize, like I said in the previous podcast, people are dying, bro. We having 1,000 people die a day from this, bro. So please, bro, if you have nothing to do outside, bro, stay in your house, bro. Stay in your house and watch some Kobe Bryant highlights, watch some NBA highlights, do something, bro. But don't go outside to be a waste man, bro.
Facts. And don't panic buy either.
And yes, don't panic buy, bro. Stop coming to stores and panic buying, bro. Stop doing that, bro.
Says a store employee. He's tired of seeing y'all.
Yo, don't come in here and buy 14 packs of water, bro. Your family don't need that much water, bro. Some
of y'all don't even drink water.
Half y'all don't even drink water, bro. You come and buying 14 packs of Corona. Mind you, 14 packs of Corona, they're having 15 packs of freaking Heineken and stuff. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
Yo.
I'm not gonna lie. I went outside the other day to get some food, and I'm seeing people still hang outside, going outside, getting dressed, getting lit. Stay in your house, bro.
I don't get it, bro. People not gonna take it serious till it happens to them or someone like close to them, and probably some at that point still won't even take it serious. So
selfish.
Let me tell you, one thing for sure that I don't think a lot of people know about the virus. I don't want to be a little activist. I'm just saying for your information. 5G. Nah, I'm not. I ain't gonna say it's about no 5G, New World Order, Illuminati. I know. I don't got no time for that, bro. By the way, for you 5G activists, stop it. You're making people sick, bro. You're making people sick. Stop it, all right? 5G does damage, but y'all doesn't have the facts right. So please relax. Get y'all facts straight, right? And number two, coronavirus definitely lives on your shoe. Like I heard it lives on the shoes for a long time, like on the floor. So mop those floors, bro. That's what I'm gonna say. Mop those floors. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't think a lot of people know about that. Like I heard in Italy, most of the cases happen because it came in through their shoes. So that's just some information people don't know.
I haven't been outside in like literally a month. I haven't been outside in a month. So
I go to the neighborhood to just walk around for like 10 minutes a day. That's it, bro. Call it a day. That's if I go outside. Bro, trust me, keep yourself sane and go outside, bro. You're inside all day. You look at the TV screen all day. Like literally, I just stay inside and do schoolwork all day. So that be blowing my mind.
Facts. I feel you on that.
I just can't wait for the players to come back though, for sure.
Yeah, we need some basketball to keep us sane for a little bit. All right, I guess that's it. I'll catch y'all next week. Thanks for listening. Make sure y'all subscribe on the YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts on any streaming platform. Make sure y'all catch the Twitter page at FBL NBA Pod. And we'll catch y'all next week. Later.
All right, y'all. Keep that family safe. Keep safe. Keep safe.